This week, God of War Ragnarok previews are out. CD Projekt Red announces a Witcher remake, and there might be some insider information on a new Bungie game.
And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your #1 show rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, joined again by James Walmer. This is episode 136. Audio listeners, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. If you're on YouTube, go over to podcast platforms and check out Strictly Casual Checkpoint. You can find our little blue box there and subscribe over there. That helps us out a lot. And if you leave a rating over there as well, that would be epic. James, I want to jump right into things today.
Let's do it.
Hit me with the first story of the day.
We got a final preview of God of War Ragnarok from IGN. It came in this week. This comes from Destin Legary. Also today we got a launch trailer for God of War Ragnarok,
which I haven't seen yet. I did see the combat trailer.
I didn't watch it,
but I don't
I'm not
think
going
I'm
to
watch this one.
I'm not going to watch anything else about this game.
Yeah.
Then when does this game come out? November
11th. So
November 11th.
Big day. It's Black Panther as well. Comes out that day. Big day.
Yep. Big day. This is the final preview from IGN. In 2018, Sony Santa Monica Studio created one of the best mixes of combat and storytelling ever made, God of War. God of War Ragnarok has a lot to live up to, and so far I'm happy to say that I'm loving the opening moments. I've had the opportunity to play through the first 5 or so hours, and it has delivered an engaging, emotional story with portions of Kratos violently ripping things in half sprinkled in during the touching opening moments. To tell the story of this duo, the entire playthrough of Ragnarok again brings back the continuous camera shot. We are told by God of War Ragnarok's animation director, Bruno Velasquez, that this is, quote, so that the player feels like they're going along on that journey with Kratos and Atreus, and you never leave their side, unquote. It's tremendously successful at doing exactly that. Not only are you invested in each moment, but a shouted look out or shield bash now during combat can be the difference between life and death. Velasquez tells us why try to approach God of War Ragnarok with the story. Wait, hold on.
We try to approach. You got it.
We try to approach God of War Ragnarok with the story never really ends. So you're always being told a story, even through combat, even through the encounters, dialogue that happens between the characters outside of combat and the cinematics while you're exploring. So we always have to think the story should never really end. Did I read that? So we just always think that the story should never really end. There shouldn't be a clear divide. So by having that approach, it helps us sort of blend or string the two together. There are important options to consider for combat. You can build towards damage, stun attacks, runic attacks, or defense. And these are pivotal decisions you'll need to make as you manage your resources. As I reach the end of my preview window, I'm left eager to continue my journey with Kratos, Atreus, and Mimir, and I'm incredibly excited about what lies in store for the team on the road ahead. Vincent.
Yeah.
My question to you, I've seen a lot of discourse about previews, particularly from the Eurogamer article, saying that this feels really familiar to the first game, maybe even too familiar.
Yeah.
What do you think about that sentiment? I mean, obviously, we haven't touched the game. We don't know for ourselves. But what do you think about critics and journalists saying, hey, this might be a little too close to the original in terms of core gameplay and combat? Is it enough of a difference?
I was reading a lot of that, and I think most of the people that felt that way were the people that played them back to back. Like people that played them right away, like playing God of War 2018 right before playing Ragnarok. Like I've read a lot of these previews that were mentioning their times revisiting it right before this game to try to get an accurate comparison to the first game. And those people have it's like it's a continuation of God of War 2018. It's not completely new, but I don't know how I feel about that because I do think I want, to a certain extent, like a new thing in there. Mm-hmm. But that new thing, from what I'm reading and hearing, is the story instead of the actual, like, visually it's great. It's an upgrade from 2018, but it's not the significant upgrade that people were expecting, I guess. It's hard to say until I actually get my hands on it if it really does feel the same or not.
Would that be a problem for you if it felt the same? Do you want it to how different should do you think it should be?
I'm not. I don't think. I think I
Like
do
they've had
kind of
4
want it
years
more
to
the
work on
same.
this game.
Yeah, I don't want it completely different. Like there is a sense to where they understand the things that they lacked in the first game that they needed to improve upon in the second game, and that focus
Right.
was more enemy variety, like making sure that the like Atreus was not useless as a side character in the first game, but they've even put more emphasis on how important he is in this game, like doing combat with him and stuff like that. The shields are new up to combat and stuff, but and there's a grapple now, like you can jump attacks, like there's more quality of life stuff that you couldn't do in the first game. I'm just wondering if all those quality of life things come together to really make an elevated experience for the second one.
Sure. That's exactly what I'm wondering too.
Yeah. But I'm hearing that the actual relationship between Mimir, Kratos, and Atreus is a lot different than the first one, where Mimir is more of like
Interesting.
a uh,
He's like a guide.
yeah, he's like a guide. But in the first game, he's kind of like annoying to Kratos. I mean, he's hilarious, but like to
He's like
Kratos,
a comedic relief.
yeah. And in this one, he's more of like very full of wisdom, and like they actually listen to
Mm,
Mimir. And Atreus is like Kratos doesn't dismiss Atreus when Atreus tries to speak about something, and Atreus can lead the way
mm.
just as much as Kratos can lead the way. Like everybody's kind of growing together, and it's like very
That's
that's
pretty
very
cool.
cool to me. I don't know. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
we're only a couple weeks away, dude. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
That worries me because right now I like have no time to play games as
Yeah,
it is right now.
sure.
So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna keep up,
Hey,
but
give the
we'll see.
people an update.
Oh, the update.
Yeah, give the people the update.
The gaming gear is on the way. It should be here by Friday. Sometimes the estimate is Friday and it actually gets here by Monday. So I'll have it before the release of Ragnarok, either way.
Yeah. What's all in your care package?
I got my camera, I got my all my PC gear, I got my one monitor, one of my two monitors. Actually I have three, but one of my three, and my PS5.
Nice. It's a great day.
What if like they forgot my controller or something like that?
Or cables or something. That would suck too.
Yeah, that would suck, but we'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Did you? Oh, that's a good question. Worry about that when it comes. Don't worry about that before.
I know. I'm worried. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole
The
thing.
only issue is it's coming in a big 80-pound box, like one big box,
Yeah,
and I live up 2 flights of stairs.
right.
So I'm thinking it's gonna just have to be like I put it on the step and I kind of
Well,
just drag it up. Maybe I don't know.
does it get delivered to your building? Will it get
Yeah.
okay, that's a relief. At least it's not at a post office or something. You have to figure out how to get it from the post office back to your place.
No, no,
That would be hell.
no, 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 nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you got it. It's doable. You'll make it happen.
I think I'll figure it out.
Next up, we have our clip, baby. And that is hold on, let me make sure I got my beautiful. Okay. CD Projekt Red announces a remake of The Witcher in Unreal Engine 5. This comes from IGN. This is one of the 5 new games the company announced earlier this month, and we previously went by the codename Canis Majoris. I believe that's what it is. This would be a true remake, with the company saying it will be rebuilt from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, and it's in early stages of development. As part of the announcement, the company cautioned, "We want to do this right, so please be patient. It's going to be a while until we can share." What else do they have to say about this?
The Witcher is where it all started for us for CD Projekt Red. It was the first game we made ever, and it was a big moment for us then. Going back to this place, remaking the game for the next generation of gamers to experience, it feels just as big, if not bigger, said Adam Badowski, head of CD Projekt Red, in an announcement post. Collaborating with Fool's Theory on the project is just as exciting. As some of the people there have been previously involved in the Witcher games, they know the source material well. They know how much gamers have been looking forward to seeing the remake happen, and they know how to make incredible and ambitious games. And although it will take some time before we're ready to share more about and from the game, I know it'll be worth the wait.
Very exciting. James, have you ever played The Witcher? The first
I
one.
never played the original one. I jumped in at Witcher 3,
Okay.
and that's it. I
I'm
didn't
gonna-
even play The Witcher 2.
I played a little bit of Witcher 2 on Steam on my MacBook Pro way back, and
I remember that. You were telling me about that.
but that's it. I still haven't played Witcher 3 either, which is, big gamer sin here. But we also got some news on that. Someone tweeted in response to the Witcher remake saying, "Speaking of which, any word on Witcher 3 for next gen?" And the Witcher official response said, "Soon." Winky face. We knew they've doubled down that it's coming out by the end of the year as well. So I think it's happening. In the next couple months, we will get that Witcher 3 PS5, Xbox Series X upgrade, which is exciting. Okay, does this Unreal Engine 5 remake of The Witcher excite you in any way?
Yes. Maybe less so because we're getting a remake of The Witcher, and I'm not super interested in the franchise as a whole,
Okay.
as much as I would otherwise like to say. But what does really interest me is they're using Unreal Engine 5, and CD Projekt Red has been using their proprietary engines for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And so we also know that they're using Unreal Engine 5 for some of their Cyberpunk content, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that their new DLC for Cyberpunk is going to be back in their proprietary engine, because I think Cyberpunk 2077 is just, it's stuck in that engine, and it'll stay in the engine. But for the next Cyberpunk game, they basically said that the whole studio is moving Unreal Engine 5 after this batch of after what they're working on now. Is like the next things that are not released will be in Unreal Engine 5.
Which makes me really excited, because I feel like their proprietary engine really bogged down a lot of their games in the past.
Sure.
I mean, of course, The Witcher 3 looks great. Cyberpunk looks pretty good. But I think it could just release a lot of restrictions and things that held them down in the past.
Do you remember we got an image from CD Projekt really early on when they said that they were working with Unreal Engine 5, and it was this kind of bulletin post stuck in the ground, like from an in-game screenshot, and it had like the Witcher logo like posted on it or something like that, or like something.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, they did this back when they made some announcement with like Epic that they were doing the Unreal Engine 5 thing. But that screenshot is apparently not in a new Witcher franchise or a new Witcher trilogy or whatever. That screenshot would be from this Witcher remake, which is interesting too. But who knows? I don't know.
But was it a good looking screenshot?
Oh yeah, it looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. I think this could be cool.
Unreal Engine 5.
Now, James, here's another question. Just throwing it back to last week's clip a little bit too. Will The Witcher 5 run in 30 frames per second on console? Sorry, not Witcher 5. The Witcher remake run on 30 FPS on console.
I think it'll run 4K 60.
You think so?
It's Unreal Engine 5.
Sure. Digital Foundry this week said that we should expect 30 frames per second for games that are trying to achieve the fidelity that we expect. Isn't that crazy?
I just don't believe that. I mean, Digital Foundry knows what the fuck they're talking about, but like at the same time, I'm like, no, because we've seen a lot of 4K. Like God of War runs 4K 60,
and they're doing checkerboard or like 1440 in 120 on PS5. There's an option for that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's a gorgeous game, and it has no loading screens.
Right, built specifically for a console, though. Do you think the things that will be on multiple consoles and PC? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll have to do like, have we seen a lot of titles come out using Unreal Engine 5, or is it so new that we haven't seen any titles
I don't think
come out using Unreal Engine 5?
I don't think we've seen that many.
I think it'll have to do with the engine and what the engine can do.
Sure.
Because if it might just be that like, oh, if you see a game made with Unreal Engine 5, you bet your ass it's going to be 4K 30.
Sure.
Or 1080 60. So we'll have to see how that engine impacts the fidelity of games.
If you understand engine and more technology on that kind of stuff, please let us know if we're wrong in the comments. That would actually be helpful and insightful. Guys, thank you so much for watching this clip. If you want more about the Witcher remake and everything else in the Witcher universe, you can subscribe right here at youtube.com/strictlycasual, or go on over to audio platforms. Type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. It's a little blue box that says Checkpoint in yellow, and subscribe to that. That helps us out a bunch as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next time. See ya. All right. Banging. We got one more story. James, lead us in.
It comes from Forbes.com. We got more info on Bungie's new marathon game, which seems very real. And Marathon isn't the name of the game. It's just like it's supposed to be a long, like live service type thing. Is that what that hints at?
I believe,
You're looking it up.
yeah, Marathon's a game that Bungie had already produced from 1994, and it was only on Mac.
That's right. Yes. Yes,
It
yes, yes.
very, I want to say Doom-esque, because at this time, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Doom was probably the most popular shooter at this time, but it's very much you look like this, and you have the gun in the center of the screen, and it's like aimed down, and you
Yep.
just move like that through like corridors and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
we're getting a new one, which I mean, supposedly it seems real.
Supposedly.
Yesterday, Tom Henderson reported that Bungie is making a new PvP-focused game based on a revival of its Marathon IP. The report has since been followed up by further info from another industry insider, Jeff Grubb. With all this being the most detailed look yet into what Bungie is up to besides endless Destiny 2 updates, Grubb confirmed he's heard about Bungie's Marathon game as well and has additional details about the project. That was two separate points I kind of strung together.
All good. No, it's great.
Okay. This is actually a project in partnership with NetEase, the Chinese gaming company that invested $100 million in Bungie back in 2019, well before the Sony
That's
purchase.
crazy.
This Mandicate game is being crafted with a mobile version in mind as well from the outset. The game is described as a quote authentic Bungie FPS experience unquote. So no, there's not going to be a surprise switch to third person for it. Once again, it's being described as a Tarkov like an extraction shooter, but with 3-man Apex style squads. Grubb says there is a focus on no load times, very minimal queue times, which would make it a bit different from Destiny, which has struggled with both of these things in various ways over the years, albeit things they did get a little better with in the generational switch. It's probably going to be free to play in order to compete with the current market, and of course, it will be live service. One of Sony's promised coming live service games in the coming years, no doubt. We know they want to invest in those. There's no word on monetization with any of these rumors, but a battle pass and microtransaction store seem like a safe bet. But I'm also willing to venture a guess Bungie isn't doing loot boxes or gacha stuff, which I cool.
That they're not doing gacha or loot boxes, or just the story as a whole?
Gacha or loot boxes.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the absence of them in terms of the live service model
What do you mean?
because
You don't think
I've
Bungie's going to be involved in the live service model?
no, I'm just talking about loot boxes or gacha stuff in a live
Oh,
service model.
got it. Yeah, in Destiny, the only loot boxes would be uh, like when you get an Eververse package and you can open that and it has stuff in
Right.
it, but you don't buy Eververse packages to try to get stuff. You just earn them, and they're like a random gamut of things. So
Right.
that's interesting. Uh, I think this game, as a like, I'm not really super interested in Tarkov style games. I guess to be honest, like a PvP.
No.
I'm sure this will do it for some people, but I'm way more into having the PV. I love Destiny because it is PvE and PvP, and I can choose which one to do, and both of them I can make progress in and be happy with that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know if I'm like super into this, but it makes sense because remember PlayStation when they were saying they will have like 6 mobile games and 6 live service games by 2025 from major studios, and we're like, what? That's only a couple years away. We haven't heard of any of these. So I mean, they must be in
Mm-hmm.
development right now. So that kind of checks out with what Bungie's doing. And to even add on to this is The Last of Us, or Naughty Dog hired a what do you call it? A economist for a live service game or whatever they
Like
call
a
it.
consultant.
Maybe something. It was like they want someone hired to make a sustainable economy for people to spend money on a free to play live service game, which would be The Last of Us
Oh,
multiplayer.
interesting. Like a moderator almost.
Someone that was going to make the decisions, that has already made a successful live service game that has made money. So like that people have stuck with for a long time and
Okay.
put money into, but it's still free to play and fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I I have a feeling that The Last of Us multiplayer will not be a paid experience. It'll be a free experience for everybody on PlayStation because they want people to play it for a long time, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a mobile game, that's for sure. But I mean, it could. They could really,
unless it's used as leverage for Sony branching out into mobile games or mobile
you know what?
counterparts of their games.
I
If
could
Sony
actually,
wants to move in that direction,
I could see a mobile game for this. I think it sounds
I could also
a
see
little
a
bit
mobile game.
ridiculous, but I could see it happening.
I can see it.
I mean, you have huge games on PC with different mobile versions of
We
it.
have the PlayStation license backbone.
Yeah, it would make sense. Naughty Dog doing a mobile game is so wild to me, but I guess so. Could happen. And I mean, and Bungie's game will be on there as well. You're right. The PlayStation backbone, kind of silly, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I kind of want a backbone. Every time it gets brought up, I'm like, damn, maybe I need one. I don't.
I just can't do mobile games.
I need to get a super long HDMI
I'll never do it.
to run to this TV over here so that I could play Death Stranding in bed, because I really had an urge for it last night and I couldn't do it. Didn't have a
Oh, I
monitor.
actually didn't notice the TV in the background. That's new.
It's great, dude. It's kind of small, but it's great. It's what we had in
What
our
is
apartment.
it? 43 incher?
Yeah. 43.
Yeah.
Gets our job done.
That's
It's
all you
nice.
need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like 55 is the optimal though. Like 55 is like the stando.
Sure. We have a 58er in the living room right now.
All right.
She's nice. Kind of a weird dimensions. I don't see many 58 inchers, but it's cool.
I feel like I've never seen a 58 incher before.
Come on over. I could show you a 58 incher. Okay. Last up,
Vincent, lead us into this next one.
we have a review roundup for a game that came out this week and some questionable controversy stuff to kind of mull over a little bit here.
I mean, it's like it's settled now.
It's settled now, but it's weird. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Bayonetta 3 has reviewed at a Metacritic of 89. That's from 33 critics, and OpenCritic of 90 from 27 critics. Game Informer gives it
great. It's
so
going crazy.
good. Game Informer gives it an 8.25 out of 10. This is from Blake Hester, saying, Bayonetta 3, for the vast majority of its runtime, is an absolute blast. It's bombastic, over the top, and extravagant for the sake of extravagance, leaving ruins literally in its wake. I'm already going back through each level trying to better scores, and I have no immediate plans of stopping. I may be hesitant about the series' future, but at present, this is the best Bayonetta has ever been. Whoa.
Okay, so so that last remark, I may be hesitant about the series' future. I feel like it correlates with a tweet that I read from Gene Park saying that the ending is awful. He said the ending is like kill the main character bad. Like he said it's really, really, really terrible.
Yeah, I saw Gene tweet about that, and I feel like I saw other people tweet about how horrible the ending was too. And then I saw like a couple journalists that said like, oh, you don't have to like the ending, but don't post what the ending is and ruin it for everybody. Because like some people were just straight up saying like, oh, I hate when this happens in Bayonetta 3. It's like, what?
Jesus.
Like what? It doesn't even come out for everybody yet. But this brings us to kind of the news part of this, in which you want to lead this, James? You want to lead this?
Yeah, so long story short, I'm trying to find specific info on it because I don't want to misspeak, but the voice actress for Bayonetta basically was saying that she was only offered $4,000 for the role, and she I don't know, she tried to she was only paid $4,000. It's not that she was only offered, but she was only paid $4,000, and it was this whole thing about, oh, they didn't pay me what I was worth. And so it turned into this whole yeah.
Her name is Helena Taylor, and Helena had voiced Bayonetta in a lot of different games, but she doesn't voice Bayonetta 3. She's voiced every Bayonetta since 2010 when Bayonetta first came out. But in the most recent one, she was replaced by Jennifer Hale. because of this.
Right.
So Jennifer
I
Hale,
can't find anything.
from my understanding, she posted a video to which she's like, boycott Bayonetta 3. I've done Bayonetta for so long and they only offered me $4,000 to do the whole game, like to do all the voice for the whole game. And weeks later, I mean, there was producers and stuff that were rebuttaling against this. Platinum Games put out a little message about how this is not
They said
real.
this isn't true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no,
But
this is not.
They kept
what
on
happened.
not releasing numbers.
Yes.
And then a producer on the game released the numbers. Like, no, we offered her $4,000 for 5 different recording sessions for the game or something, which then
For
adds
a
up.
total of like what, 20,000?
Yeah, and then plus
Was it 15 or 20?
they gave us approximate hours it would have taken to record all these voice lines and stuff like that, and it felt reasonable to a sense. Like, oh, that's a pretty good chunk for this game.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point, is that it was reasonable. And so, like, her whole thing was like leveraged to be like pro union and to be like,
Yeah.
oh well, like voice actors need to be paid more. And so
Right.
now it sucks because voice actors who actually aren't paid as much as they should be, like, can't use that leverage, and now she's gonna be a bulwark of like a boy who cried wolf, who's like, okay, like, this actually isn't the case. Voice actors are paid well. Like, you don't have, like, this is useless.
Yeah, right.
But in reality, like, you can't assume that all voice actors are paid well.
Yeah, right.
And so, like, when that does come up, it's gonna actually really hurt a lot of struggling voice actors who want their voice to be heard.
Totally. I agree. And Helena Taylor 2 days ago released another statement like, oh, well, that's true what this person said, like, and she completely undermines her entire first post. And it sucks too, just a lot of people going to bat for her as well, like trying to be like, oh, this is a huge character, and like, of course you didn't take it. $4,000 to do an entire game, that's terrible, like this and that.
No.
And now there's like all that aged so poorly because she was lying, which sucks. And she won't be hired for another Bayonetta game because of this.
Sucks.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's it.
No. Yeah, she's done.
And I don't think other studios are going to want to really work with her. If she's
I think she wants to be done. It didn't seem like she was interested in coming back. If she was interested in coming back, she wouldn't have posted all that.
Right. But I just feel like she's really, like, this is such a publicly
okay. Yeah. So it's $3,000 to $4,000 per session for 4 to 5 sessions for a $15,000 total, and it was a significant increase over her pay for Bayonetta 2.
Okay. Yeah. It's wild, dude. I don't know. This is crazy. That's crazy to me. Also, in general, does that seem like, how long is Bayonetta? You have to assume we're talking thousands and thousands of voice lines here for a whole game. I'm not trying to like say that she is getting underpaid or anything, but like, what is like a good payment for that? Because you're paying someone you're paying someone for their skill also, you know? Like, it's not just the time it takes to record them. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't really know how that breaks down. Like, how much does someone get paid for a AAA game that they're going to be in a lot of? Kind of wild. Moving on.
The fact remains that, like, she lied about what she was getting paid, and now it sucks for everyone else.
Yep, sucks for her and sucks for everyone else. Big time. Let's move on to random fun stuff. Stories without a story. Everybody's favorite part of the show. These are headlines with no story, but headlines you should probably know.
Yep.
Start us off.
Kicking it off. Number 1. PlayStation Plus Essential lineup for November revealed. We got Neo 2, Lego Harry Potter Collection, and Heavenly Bodies.
Yeah, you could take that.
I guess you don't need this second point.
Yeah, say the second.
Wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. This is talking about something else. The PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium Game Catalog October will be announced later this month. I assume that means November.
Oh yeah, that does mean November. Oh no. That's weird.
Vincent, I'm not paying for PlayStation Plus right now. So now I'm trying to figure out when's the month that I jump back on. Do I jump back on just to jump back on, or do I say, you know what, I actually don't need these games in my library?
That's a good question. I don't do you well, it's what, $10 a month? If you buy a whole year, it's $5 a month.
Yeah.
Is this worth $5 to you? Neo 2 Harry Potter collection and Heavenly Bodies?
Neo 2 might be fun.
Yeah. And you're not really
Kind of
you're not gaming
soulsy.
online or anything, so it's not like you really need the PlayStation Plus right now.
No.
Okay. Nah, I wouldn't do it then. I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Last month
Okay.
wasn't a really big hit either
No,
for
I'm
me.
with you.
Uh
What was last month?
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm not sure. Good question. What is this month?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, I'm curious.
Super Hot Wheels Unleashed, and Injustice 2. Oh, I wanted
I'm
Hot
totally
Wheels.
joking. That's a fire month of PlayStation Plus. I
Ah,
did play Super Hot, like a
I
lot of
wanted
it.
Hot Wheels. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so
On
good.
VR.
No, I just played it on controller, but uh, I have played it in PSVR before. It's pretty
Good
cool.
ass game.
Yeah, good game.
Good
Kind
ass
of
game.
creepy. It's very meta. Like
Yeah.
the story of the game.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. Okay, this is a big one too. Rocksteady co-founders and studio heads Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker have decided to leave the studio. I put here unknown reason, but I did read the whole statement, and it basically sounds like they have finished the development and all of their crucial pieces on Suicide Squad, and they have a new opportunity that they're moving to, whether separately or together. I don't know, but they did not abandon Suicide Squad. Like they tried to make that clear in it that like it's done. All it is like bug patching and stuff, and we're leaving. Feels
That
weird.
game's still gonna be a mess. I don't care.
It still feels weird to have the studio heads leave before a game ends. It feels odd.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a Gotham Knights situation, but damn.
What do you mean a Gotham Knight situation?
4-player co-op, Batman Arkham style game that reviews at 4s out of 10s. Like, I hope not.
I think it'll review at like 6, 7.
I'm really bummed that.
I think it'll just be a better version of Gotham Knights.
Don't even say that to me right now. I
I
wish that these
like
two
more
studios
refined.
switched games and Suicide Squad was done with WB Montreal, and then Gotham Knights was done in the Batman Arkham universe with Rocksteady. I just feel like that is like would be the move.
It's perfect, yeah.
Pain.
Fallout 4 will be upgraded for free for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC next year. I guess better late than never.
Better late than never.
Vincent, will you finally play this game?
Maybe. Really the only Fallout game I've played is New Vegas. That's it.
New Vegas is great. How much did you play New Vegas? Did you finish it?
I played on PS3. I finished it. I played all of it.
Oh, good ass game.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm like craving a Fallout type game right now. Like I kind of want to like get into it.
Yeah.
A little bit. I haven't really been able to get into a game in a little while though, to be honest.
I feel you.
Okay.
It's your work now.
It is. Yeah, it is. I gotta find a good balance of like I still haven't found a good balance of how to enjoy games and work
Me too.
and stuff.
And because you work from home, you're also like juggling being at home. So you're like, I don't want to be at home.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to sit here all day and work on video gamey stuff and then sit down and be like, I want to play a couple hours of video games tonight. I don't want to all the time. That's why Marvel Snap has been awesome. Just jump on that on the go, dude. Marvel Snap.
I deleted Marvel Snap today.
It's so
I installed
good.
it and then deleted it.
It's so good.
Also, that fucking tweet that you sent out about Uncle Ben, how once the card is removed, that you get Spider-Man to your hand.
Hilarious.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Is that real?
I have no idea. I have not seen an Uncle Ben card. I'm assuming that is photoshopped. Unless it's like a high level card or something.
That's so funny.
Play Marvel Snap, guys. It's game of the year. Game of the year so far.
I'll give it a shot. I'll re-download it.
Okay, wait, real quick. This would be a good topic for next week, but give me a little taste, James. What are some of your favorite games this year? I know the last couple months you haven't been playing games, but you did play a lot of games towards the beginning of the year. So like that's half a year worth of games.
Yeah, Elden Ring is up there. Dude,
Yeah.
Elden Ring came out this year.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Give me a little rapid fire. What came out this year?
Well, I mean, for me, I'm thinking obviously Elden Ring's towards the top. Skywalker Saga's got to be in that top 5 also of games that came out this year. I totally enjoyed. I loved that so much. What else came out? I feel like I'm missing a big one.
Monster Hunter Rise came out this year, which I feel like I would have really liked.
Mm-hmm. Kind of hard
Life
to
is
say.
Strange Remastered. Sifu.
Oh, Sifu's dope, but I never finished it.
Cyberpunk 2077 for PS5.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
I gotta finish
Shadow Warrior
Sifu.
3.
I only got through 3 of the 5 stages.
Final Fantasy Origin. Death Stranding Director's Cut on PC. God, this is a big
A lot of
list.
re-releases coming out.
A lot of re-releases. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt.
Holy, there's a wolf. There's a wolf outside of my room.
Shut the fuck up. You mean a coyote?
I'm taking a picture.
Is it a coyote or a wolf? One of those is significantly more exciting.
Oh my god, hold on. This is audio. You gotta go out, become an audio or a video watcher to see this. It's crazy. It's not
That's
a
a
dog,
coyote.
bro. It's not a dog.
That's a coyote.
That shit's crazy. Anyways. Okay, Mini Clip's dead.
Demon
RIP.
Slayer came out. The Quarry came out.
Oh,
The
I didn't
Quarry's
play
great.
The Quarry.
A lot of people like Neon White. That came out this year.
Yeah,
I
Neon
really
White
want to
looks
play
so
that
sick.
still. Cuphead DLC. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Power Wash Simulator.
Yep, game of the year. Marvel Snap in my top 5 games of the year. I cannot stop playing it.
Crazy. Digimon Survive. Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah.
Cult of the Lamb.
Mario Rabbids.
Marvel Spider-Man came to PC. Roller Dome.
Oh, Roller Drone's
Kirby
awesome
came out this year.
also. But I'm only halfway through that too. That game, dude, Roller Drone is so hard. Like,
Really?
yeah. Once you get into flow, it feels so good. But if you break that flow, impossible to beat the level. You might as well just start over. You have to flow the entire level,
Damn.
or else you're back to the beginning.
Wow. Judgment and Lost Judgment came out to PC. Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah, I haven't played. I just played the beta, which I freaking loved. There's so many games like that. They're like around the $30 mark. Probably 10 of them that I would love to just buy, but like I can't do that.
Tunic came out on PS5.
Mm-hmm. We should make our lists at
Valkyrie
the end of the
Elysium.
year.
Overwatch 2, Nier Automata on Switch.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3.
Next up on
and
random fun stuff
Plague Tale Requiem.
is Mini Clip. Home of childhood nostalgia is finally dead. R.I.P. You weren't a big Mini Clipper, were you?
I was a big mini clip. Battleground, addicting games, all those.
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of how I got into games.
So sad.
No, it's not. I got into games before that, but there was a time when that's all I played.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. Shopping cart, downhill racer. You got the Raft Wars. Just a bunch of classics back out there.
Bowman.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of bad
ones.
games.
A lot of bad games. The Callisto Protocol has been canceled in Japan after its developer determined it would not be able to get a rating for the game without cuts.
Crazy. It's a big that's wild. That's a huge
audience.
Yeah, huge audience to have this just say that it's going to be canceled. I wonder why it's canceled for.
I bet it's violence things.
There's so many
Like
violent ass
hyper-violence.
games though. Like there has to be something really extreme. I don't know. Excited to see whatever it is.
I want to know.
PlayStation's London studio, the PSVR Worlds and Blood and Truth, is working on a united online co-op combat game set in a fantasy London. This is the most ambitious game by the studio to date, completely built for PS5 and uses the in-house Soho engine. Cool.
I wonder if it's going to be VR.
Me too, but I doubt
this
it.
is a VR studio.
Maybe have a VR mode. That's my assumption. They do it without VR, and then they just have VR capability.
Okay. Somerville launches on November 15th. That game looks really cool.
Persona 5 Royale sold 45,000 units on Switch in its first week in Japan.
Pretty good.
It's huge, dude.
Phil Spencer hints at it. This is the third release for the game. Keep in mind,
it's been in the top of Steam selling charts and stuff like that this week.
Yeah, it's fucking. You need to play it.
I know. I need to play more than just 2 hours. I've played 2 hours and I never picked it back up.
Good. I think it's good for your current lifestyle because it's good. Like, it's good to like it blocks itself well because it's like over days. So you'll be like, oh, this day I'm gonna play like 1 day of Persona 5, and then I'm gonna like stop, save, and then keep going, go through a sequence, do everything there.
Yeah.
Boom, save.
Because I think I got through the first. I don't know.
Would you just restart it, or would you keep going?
I'd probably keep going. I feel like it's fresh enough. I just need a quick reminder of the characters and stuff, and I'd be ready to go. I defeated the gym boss, the school gym guy.
Oh, okay. So you made pretty significant progress.
I feel like I was in there, like past the tutorial, like actually doing stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely were if you beat the gym boss.
Yeah. Maybe I was more.
That was hard as hell for me.
Maybe I haven't beat the gym boss.
That's probably like 4. Maybe I haven't beat the gym boss. It was a hard as hell boss fight.
Huh. I'll check it out. Stupid.
It's like a big face and it's got like detached hands.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I did it.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to clear like 200 gigabytes for freaking Modern Warfare this weekend, so it's gonna be pain. And then
It's like one of the best games ever made.
I know. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Like the story is crazy good.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer hints at a price raise on Xbox Game Pass or console price.
Even though like 2 weeks ago, Phil Spencer's like, we're not raising the price of consoles.
Yeah, this is new.
Crazy.
This is like within the last week.
And Microsoft looks to search for Chinese gaming hits after seeing success of Genshin Impact on PlayStation, which is weird because Xbox passed on Genshin.
Mm-hmm.
What a miss! What a huge
miss. It's kind of how what Microsoft does is like they'll pass up they'll pass up something and then like they'll realize they whiffed and they'll be like, oh, I'll come back for this.
Yeah. Kind of nuts. James.
Vincent, how are you doing? What are you playing?
Actually, dude, yesterday, while it was a busy day, drove to the office and everything, I'm just feeling happy. Feeling really happy. So I'm feeling good. Happy about my living situation. Happy about all this stuff's happening in my life. But gaming, pretty low this week, of course. Marvel Snap was heavily played. Just during all hours of the day. Because it's on Steam, I can just dock that bad boy on the side of my screen. Every time I'm feeling low, I move on over there and I just click and play a quick 2-minute game and I'm back to work. You know what I mean? Or anything like that.
Is it that quick?
Yeah, it's 2 to 4 minutes is an average length of a Marvel Snap game.
Huh.
I absolutely love it. And then I beat the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign on Veteran.
Is it rough? Oh shit, we didn't talk about that. We can talk about that right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about
I heard it's a fucking mess.
It's one of the best campaigns I've played.
Dog, it's so problematic.
There is a problematic chapter in which you can point a gun at civilians to de-escalate a situation. That is problematic. I would agree.
In addition, so the first mission is a recreation of the assassination of an Iranian general that took place under Donald Trump.
Is it, or does it have similarities?
And the in-game character is named after a current Iranian general.
I feel like Hassan is a very, like Hassan, or it's a Hassan, is a very common Iranian name. I don't know. I'm sure there's similarities. I don't know what to speak on because I don't really know I don't know. if it's similar, that's one thing. If it's really modeled after,
How similar does it have to be before it's the same?
you could say
It's
that
in the
about
same
all war
area
games.
if it's against the,
I think
but if it's the same, like,
it's a fictional area. Like they have fictional
is it?
town. Yeah, they like even they've created a fictional city in Mexico to put the game, a fictional city in Iran to put the game. Like all the cities that they go to are fictional within these places with their own like stories and characters, or whatever. It's hard. It's hard for me to jump on that because there's gonna be similarities with things. Just that's the nature of the game. But also, like I still find it weird that in all these like war type games and everything, an enemy is like a country or like people like
I mean, it's like war games in general are kind of problematic.
right. Yeah, I don't know how much this is more
Right.
than any other war game. I
Sure. That's valid.
This one kind of goes with an extremist group that are stealing missiles from America or from like the American troops and selling them to other people. So you have to find the missiles before they get sold in different countries. So it's dealing with like a lot of different groups, but it doesn't. They don't say the countries very much. They just reference the groups within those countries that are fictionally created for this game.
Sure. They don't want you to pay attention to the countries.
No, I mean,
They said, okay, it's just so we're clear, we're not like.
there's a big world map, and then when you go to a mission, it shows you like, all right, you're here in this country, and then it zooms in, and then you're like, you're in on it. But
Is it like fake geography?
no, because it's not very specific. It's very general. It's like obviously in the world map, like you could say like, oh yeah, this is in Iran, or but
Yeah.
who knows where? It's just a fictional country called Al something, you know?
Yeah. But it's in the place of Iran
Oh yeah, no, it's in
or Iran.
yeah, exactly. Again,
Okay.
there's some things that I don't understand. How they can get published in other countries and stuff like that when like, oh, you're playing
Sure.
as American soldiers and the Mexican special
Right.
forces. So you're playing Mexican special forces and a special team in the American military, which is like Ghost Team or whatever. You're playing these two countries' teams with real enemies that are it's always Russia, it's always Iran, it's
It's
always
always Russia.
something like that. Like,
Yep.
and these games still get published in those countries for the most part too. I'm like,
It's crazy.
I don't get that. I don't understand. Like how that works. No Russian still exists. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
You can buy that game. Like that's crazy.
that is literally crazy.
Yeah. So regardless of the political implications of war games in general or this specific war game, the game is fun as all hell. It's really good. I thought the graphics were incredible. The cinematics were crazy. The breach and clear like night mission, like night vision missions were great. There's a stealth sniper mission that is the best stealth sniper mission I have played like since the previous Modern Warfare 2
Wow.
way back. It's great. It took me 15 hours to do that on veteran, which means it would take like 8 hours probably on a regular game mode. So significant, not super long. Great though. Highly recommend.
Cool.
Yeah. Interesting. It's an interesting topic because I've had that thought for so long about just war games in general and just the vilification, the vilification of.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're kind of like just propaganda for like 13-year-olds.
Maybe. It's weird.
I mean, you're saying that Russians are the enemy, or like Vietnamese people are the enemy,
Sure. Yeah.
and they don't necessarily have the historical knowledge. I mean, it's fake, like it's fake history, but
Yeah,
like
right.
they don't have the knowledge to be like, oh, well, like this is obviously like there's these historical events that led up to, but it's very like.
I'd love to talk with a story, like a writer on some of these games. Like, what is it? Just the common thing? Like, obviously, you have to have a
Right.
world enemy. Like, you have to have a world enemy to go after. You know,
I guess. Yeah.
so interesting. I don't know. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time. Anyways, that is episode 136 of Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual. James, thank you so much for jamming on this bad boy with me.
I love jamming.
I just heard B yell F like really loud upstairs. Just yelled fuck. So that'll be interesting. Okay. I love y'all.
Vincent, I
Yeah.
want to get a beacon mic.
Yeah, do it. Get a beacon mic.
It's been on my mind for a while.
Do it. That sounds wonderful. Okay, James, I'm wrapping this podcast up. Love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.
Wrap it up, baby.
Peace out.